Okay, Mikey, today in lesson 16 on Zern, we learned something new about fractions. What did we learn?
We learned how the numerator can be greater than the denominator.
And what happens to the size of the fraction when the numerator starts to get bigger than the denominator, which stays the same, of course?
It's bigger than one whole.
It's bigger than one whole. Okay, so in the problem set,
I made a mistake.
you did make a mistake, which was fine because we have a piece of paper here and all we did was redraw the number lines exactly like they were. And then he's going to fix his mistake. So first of all, tell them what your mistake was because maybe they made a mistake too.
This one and the two stands for a whole. This is one whole, this is two wholes.
And what did you think they were before really paying attention by filling in 0/3 here?
I thought we just do the same thing.
You thought number lines always had to start at 0.
Yeah.
Is that the case though?
Yeah. No.
No, number lines can start anywhere. So this one happened to start at 1.
And this one doesn't have like a little middle right here.
No, it
like
doesn't. Right. So this one starts at 1 and our unit is what?
Our unit is thirds.
Thirds. So instead of 0/3 here, how many thirds equal one whole?
3.
3 what?
Thirds.
3/3. Okay. So we wanted to go from 3/3 all the way up to 2 wholes,
6/3.
which are 6/3. So if you did this same problem and you want to pause the video right now, you can do that and just redraw just like we did. But this time we're going to do it correctly. So the first one for letter, actually it's letter B. Letter B there is, it's in thirds and it starts at 1 whole. So Mikey is writing 3/3. And then he's going to partition the number line into 3 equal parts. Why is that?
Because in order to make one whole little fraction thing, we have to put it in equal parts.
And
first.
the unit is thirds, right? So 3 equal parts. Now he's not going to label this one 1/3. He's going to label it 4/3. And then he's simply going to count up from there.
And right here, you know that the numerator is 6 because you can multiply this 2
2 wholes
times the 3
times thirds
equals 6.
Right. So that's kind of like a little trick. The whole number times the denominator will give you the number of units you have. So, and of course that makes sense because if 1 whole is 3/3, then 1 more whole, it'll be 3 more thirds with 6/3. So now the next one, Mikey, has halves. What do you notice it starts with, Mikey? What whole number?
A 2.
Okay, so his first challenge here is to figure out where to start. You're going to notice that's not 0/3. Mikey, walk the group through figuring out how you decided it was 4 halves.
Like we said over this one, you know that your unit fraction is halves because it says over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you already know the denominator.
Yeah, that's not going to change, is it? They're halves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so you multiply that, like we said over here, by this. And then that would give us numerator, 4.
So you're saying that you can multiply 2 times 2, and that will give you the number of halves
Yes.
in 2 wholes. Okay. And that makes a lot of sense because 2 halves is 1 whole. So if I want another one, I need 2 more, and that's 4, right? Okay, now you're going to notice for this next one, it doesn't go to only 1 whole unit. It goes from 2 to 4. So what's right smack dab in the middle between 2 and 4, Mikey? Mikey? What's smack dab in the middle between 2 and 4?
3.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you label that unit 3 in the middle. You have to pay attention to what your number line says. If it goes from 2 to 4, you can't forget about that whole number 3 in the middle, okay? Now what I would do is I would then just look at 1 whole unit, right? Okay, let's look at this from 2 to 3. Why did you put only 1 tick mark in the middle?
Because it shows halves.
Because it's only halves,
You
two
need
equal
two
parts.
equal
Count them with your fingers. One part,
1, 2.
2. So those are halves. So after 4 halves goes 5 halves, and then of course 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 6 halves, which is 3. Then you can do the exact same thing looking at the other side. That's one whole. Break the whole into halves, and just keep counting up until you get 8 halves. Okay, let's try one more. The next one is fourths. So our unit is fourths. That's not going to change. But you're going to notice it doesn't start at 0 or 1. It starts at 3. So Mikey had to figure out how many fourths are in 3 wholes. This is where your skip counting also comes in. I know that if I count by 4 3 times, I'll get 12. So 4 fourths, 8 fourths, and 12 fourths would be 3. Then after that, really, I can just count up. You'll notice that he broke up the whole unit, which is from 3 to 4. He broke it up into 4 equal parts.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, look. Hey, good mistake though. He accidentally was making the wrong denominator, and he realized that the fourths is what should remain the same throughout. Mikey, what's 16 divided by 4?
4.
And what's 4 times 4?
16.
Okay, all of your skip counting, multiplication, and division play a part here, okay? Now, how many equal parts are you going to break up that next whole unit from 4 to 5?
4.
Why 4 equal parts?
Because our unit fraction is fourths.
Because the units are fourths. Good, go ahead. Start with one in the middle, and then break those in half. Now you have 4 equal parts. And those of you following along at home, before Mikey does it, you probably could figure out how many fourths are in 5 wholes, because all you need to know is 5 times 4 equals. Think about it, right? Okay. Or you can do what Mikey's doing here and just count up. 16 fourths is followed by 17 fourths. 17 fourths is followed by
18 fourths, and then 19 and 20.
And of course, we know that 5 times 4 is 20, so we know that we are right on the right track. All right, I'm going to leave that last one for you, and make sure that if you have any questions, you let me know, and good luck.